Hello, welcome back to this channel Gain Java Knowledge, and today in this video we are going to learn how to make Spring Boot CRUD API with Spring Data JPA and MySQL database that we will use. Okay, let's begin how to write the code. So first I will create one Spring Boot project. For this I will go to my Chrome and here I will type start.spring.io. Here I will choose the project is Maven project and language Java, and we are using Spring Boot version that is 2.3.0, and group ID is com.example and artifact will be student CRUD. Now we need to add the dependency. Here I will add 4 dependency. First one is web, that is Spring Web, and the second dependency that we need to add is JPA, Spring Data JPA dependency. And the next, if we want to communicate with database MySQL, then we need to use connectors. So here I will add one more dependency, that is MySQL server driver, and the fourth one is Lombok. So here I have added 4 dependencies, and now I will generate the project. Now here zip file is created. Now I will show in folder. From here I will copy it from here, will paste it here. Now I will extract here. Now I will open this and copy the path from here and go to my Eclipse. Here I will import the project, existing Maven project. Here I will paste the path and click on finish. Now the project is importing Maven projects, and it will take time to add the dependencies. And now my project have been imported, and now I will open it, and it is the main class of our Spring Boot application, and this is the Spring Boot application annotation. Now we need to create CRUD operation for student, so we can add student, update student and get the list of student, and we can also perform delete operation. For this, first I will create one package. And here I have created one controller package. Like this, we need to create service package and entity package. New package, and it will be the service layer. Like this, I will create one package for entity. And one more package for DAO layer. Now I will go to my controller, and here I will create one class that is student controller, and inside my student controller I will create the REST endpoint that will be used to perform the CRUD API operation. And if my application want to communicate with database, I will communicate with MySQL DB. So what I need to do, there is no need to write the code for to communicate our database and Java application. We just need to define few properties, that is database related properties and Hibernate properties inside application.property. Our Spring Boot application will understand and communicate with DB. So I have just pasted it. This is my Spring data source URL, Spring data source username and Spring data source password, and here I am using Spring JPA Hibernate DDL Auto. It will automatically create the table if it is not available. And here I have defined dialect. Now I will go to my controller, and here I will use the annotation that is @REST controller at class level. Like this I will create one class in my CRUD, new interface. Here I will use Spring Data JPA. So here I will create student repository interface, and student repository interface will extend the JPA repository. Here it will extends JPA repository. So first I need to create the entity class, new class, that is student, and for entity class I will use Hibernate annotations, Java X.persistence annotations like @entity. And here I will use annotation that is @table, and I can give any name to my table. If I will not use @table annotation, then it will pick the class name as a table name. And inside my student class I will declare few properties, that is ID of student, name of student, and the city of student. And here ID will be generated automatically by generators. So here I will use @generated value annotation, and here I will use the strategy that is generation type auto, and at column level here I can use annotation that is @column. And if we want to use the same name of column as property name, then no need to define anything, @column. And now we need to generate getter and setter methods. For getters and setters method we will use Lombok annotation, that is @data. So no need to write any setter and getter method. And we can use noarg constructor, and we'll also use @allarg constructor. Now I will go to my repository, and in my repository interface here I will type my entity name, that is student, and here I will define the data type of my primary key. My primary key data type was long, so here I will write long, and my repository is created. Now I will go to my service layer. Here I will create one more class, that is service student service. Here I will write my business logic, and at class level here I will use the annotation, that is @service annotation, so our Spring Boot application will understand, and will create the bean for this class. Now I will go to my controller, and in my controller, if I want to call service layer, then we need to inject service class inside my controller. So here I will use @autowired annotation, and here I will declare the reference variable for my service layer. Now inside my controller I will create the REST API and REST endpoints. So first I will create add student, and here I will pass request body as a parameter. And from here I will call my service class, and here I will call add student, so now here it will show create method in service layer. Here I will use annotations, that is @post mapping, and will define the path, that will be the URL path. In my service layer, here I will call the function, that is here I need to inject the repository of student repository. So here I will define the annotation, that is @autowired, and will create the bean for student repository. Repository.save function, that we will call directly, and will pass the student object, that is our entity model, and it will return the same object that we will save into DB. And now I will go to my controller again, and will create second API to get the students. This API will be used to get all students. So return type will be the list of student. List of students, and the function name will be get all students. We can write here. So here we no need to pass any parameter because we will get all students, and here we will use same name, get all students. Now we need to create this function inside our service layer. Here I have created, and now I will call repository dot find all, then it will return the list of all students. Now I will go to my controller again and will create another API to update the student, and here the mapping will be get type. Now I will create one more API that will be used to update. So here I will use put mapping, and here I will pass ID, and here we need to use @path variable annotations. And the function name will be update student detail. Now I will go to my service layer, and here I will create one more function. So first here I will get student repository dot find by ID, and it will return student object. So here I will write if it is not null, or I can type here or else. If not found, we can throw an exception, or we can also return null value. Here I am just returning null if not found, because here I have not created any custom exception. Now after getting the object from DB, if student is not null, if student is not equal to null, then we will update, otherwise we will return null value. Student dot set city. Here we can use multiple checks. If city value is available in our request, then it will be update. Student dot set ID, set name, because ID is already available. That will be request dot get name. And it will return the same student after updating. Now I will create one more REST endpoint to delete the student. Here I will just creating, and here the mapping will be delete mapping. and the math function name will be delete student, and no need to pass any request body. Here we just need to pass ID, and we will delete the student based on its ID. Here we will go to my repository and we will call repository dot delete by id function, delete by id, and it will delete. Here we can return a string value also. So here I have created 4 REST endpoints for add the student, to get all students, and update the student, and delete student. Now I will run my application, and when I will run my application, the database, in my database the table will be created automatically, because I have defined ddl.auto is update. If table is available, then no need to modify, otherwise it will create. Here it's throwing some exceptions, unable to bind. We need to define driver class name as this. So here it's unable to start, so just need to check my pom.xml, because it's not able to load driver class name, that is. So I just need to check my SQL connector. The dependency that I have added, it's wrong, so I just need to remove it from here and need to use this dependency, that is my SQL connector Java. And now I will run this application again. So first I will check my database. Inside my database only one table is available, that is user. So when I will run my application, it will automatically create table for me. Run as Java application. Now my server has started, and we have created the 4 APIs. First one is to add the student. Now we can check the table is available or not. Here you can see the student table is created, and here ID, city, name, 3 columns are available. So now first I will add one student, and this is the URL for to add the student, and inside body I will pass the parameters, that is name and its ID. So here I have defined my JSON object and the name of student, the city. Now I will send the request. It's sending the request. And the response is generated, returned by our CRUD API, that is post, to create a student. And now we will check in my database. Here one record is added successfully. Now I will try to get list of students. So here I will call the get API and its URL is students, and it will return all the students. Here you can see the list of students. In my DB only one student is available, so here it's showing only one object inside list. Now I will update the student, that is student ID 2. So here I will go and here I will pass the ID as 2 and the request type will be put. And here I will update the name. And send. Here you can see the response name updated, and now we will check in DB, refresh it. So here we need to check why it's not updating. So here I forget to call this function repository.save. So now I will stop the application and run it again. Now my server has started, so I will again call the same API with same record, sending the request, and now I will go to my DB and check it again. So here names updated. Like this we can also perform the delete operation. Here I will just need to change the HTTP status. Here the delete request, and just need to pass ID of student. So here I will call this API and method not allowed. So first I need to check the URL for delete API. Here I have added delete inside the URL. So here I will go and write delete. Now I will again call this API. And here it's showing 200. Okay. And now we will go to our database and refresh it here. Now we can say operation deleted successfully. And these are the 4 API that we have created. Like this we can create more API: find by ID, find by name. Like this we can create. Okay, thanks for watching this video.